Welcome, everybody. It's good to be together. As always, we want to start with a short arrival practice. Um, so you can keep your videos on or switch it off if you feel more comfortable. And let's take a few deep breaths together. Get a sense of your feet on the ground, the connection with the earth. And allow your mind and body to just settle naturally without any force or effort. And take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you actually doing right now? What's alive? What's present for you? Could be a speedy mind that runs in all directions, or maybe you're feeling quiet. No need to manage, change, alter. Just notice what it is that you're actually experiencing. Are there any sensations in your body that come to your awareness? Any kind of emotional tone? With every breath, you can just let mind and body settle more and more, letting them do whatever they do. No need to struggle or fight or seek for anything in particular. And then notice that you are the one that's looking at this changing display of thoughts, emotions, sensations, the awareness by which you know these things is exactly the same in each moment. Happy thoughts or sad thoughts, nice feelings or unpleasant, same essence of you that's aware. Take just one short moment to acknowledge this open intelligence, the awareness at the basis of each moment. And another short moment And letting that moment last for however long it lasts. Usually our thoughts, emotions, or sensations will carry us away again. And we forget about open intelligence. That's normal. We can return to it again and again. It's already there. It's already here. No need to build it, create it. We're just noticing that it's already present. As we're together today for this meetup, when we talk about short moments, take that as a reminder to actually look directly at this essence of your own mind and rest in and as that essence for just a moment. And we can slowly come back to the lovely faces on the screen here. Thank you all for spending a few moments together like that.
Thank you, Jochen. It's perfect. I will share the text for today. So we'll have a focus on empowerment 2 theme with the headline, "What is the natural state?" And we'll read that together. And if you'd like to read today, you can press 1 or let us know in other ways. If you'd like to be part of the reading order.
What is the natural state? Instinctive recognition, day and night, that open intelligence inexhaustibly restores our natural beneficial power. The sky, air, and color blue are inseparable. Likewise, open intelligence, its dynamic energy and beneficial responsiveness are inseparable, all in one perfect unity.
We recognize that open intelligence restores to human the natural beneficial power of intelligence, speech, body qualities, and activities. All flows from open intelligence.
We recognize that everything and everyone is a datum of open intelligence. Open intelligence is our basic nature or identity. Open intelligence brings us back to our original condition of open-ended benefit creation and open-ended knowledge creation. It brings us to a state of true health, soundness, and vigor.
Short moments are user-friendly. In a short moment of open intelligence, we return to our original dignity and benefit. In each short moment, we press the reset button of open intelligence, love, and beneficial energy. Our intelligence, speech, body, qualities, and activities are empowered with our original beneficial reality.
Metaphors and similes are used to connect to the profound meaning of open intelligence and its powers of great benefit. Open intelligence is always available as our home base.
Our very own open intelligence is naturally endowed with beneficial qualities and activities. This toolkit is already present and all we need for a totally fulfilling life.
If we possess only one beneficial quality, then we will give rise to all beneficial qualities and activities through simply living life one simple moment at a time. If we possess one beneficial quality, we will outshine all disturbing data and eliminate all other negative data such as pride, arrogance, envy, jealousy, greed, desire, anger, hatred, and ignorance. What is that one single beneficial quality? It is open intelligence, which fully reveals the equally beneficial nature of all data. Open intelligence launches our most robust operating system, the power to benefit all.
Short moments of open intelligence are necessary so that we can begin to
Experientially. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you. Understand what open intelligence is all about. In brief moments of uncontrived open intelligence, we begin to see that open intelligence is the basis of all data, seamlessly blended with data, like sky is seamlessly blended with blue, or like sunlight in daylight. What a marvel it is.
Benefit, which is the innate nature of everyone, has always been the basis of our own nature. We are never apart from this beneficial nature, for even an instant. By relying on open intelligence, then we acknowledge our naturally present benefit and we spontaneously give rise to all-encompassing altruism, the deep desire to benefit all through one's qualities and activities.
The image below shows the uniqueness of each ray of sunlight. Similarly, each one of us has a unique display of beneficial qualities and activities related to our own particular strengths, gifts, and talents. Our real potent body is the all-encompassing body of beneficial qualities and activities that come from open intelligence. With this body, intelligence, and speech, we can accomplish the perfect benefit of all. This includes self-benefit. The greatest benefit we can be to ourselves is to give ourselves opportunity to recognize our powerful beneficial nature.
If you plant open intelligence seeds, an unending field of open intelligence will grow. If you plant data naming seeds, a ceaseless field of data will grow.
If we emphasize the description of data, it is empowered to take over all of our energy and attention. If we allow data to flow on by, beneficial energy opens up, vast and powerful.
Rather than relying on data, we gradually become accustomed to open intelligence's beneficial energy. We simply rely on open intelligence rather than emphasize data.
Short moments of uncontrived open intelligence launch continuous unending open intelligence. Initially, open intelligence may be momentary and occasional. However, by the power of short moments, open intelligence grows increasingly obvious. Its spontaneous presence is increasingly obvious. Open intelligence has always been present. We just didn't notice it. Short moments of uncontrived open intelligence are the means to inexhaustibly expand open intelligence within all data.
Outshining of data. The outshining of data of all kinds in open intelligence is illustrated by the following analogies. The analogy of the dream state is illustrative in that it introduces the perspective that all thoughts, emotions, and experiences appear in open intelligence, like dreams appear within sleep. Dream images are insubstantial and cannot be found to have an independent nature. Similarly, data appear within open intelligence. Open intelligence undermines the assumption that data can be found to exist in its own right.
The analogy of an illusion or mirage is illustrative in that it introduces the lack of power and influence of data. We understand that whatever datum appears, there's no influence in and of itself, like a mirage. The analogy of sunrise in space is illustrative and that it introduced the perspective that data are the display of open intelligence.
The analogy of a reflection in a crystal ball is illustrative in that it introduces the nature of open intelligence, the flawless basic space of data. Like reflections recede into the clear light of a crystal ball, data simultaneously arise and resolve in pristine open intelligence.
The analogy of a no.
No, the analogy of a rainbow is illustrative in that it introduces the perspective that data are the color luster of the space of open intelligence. Like a rainbow dissolving in space, thoughts, emotions, sensations, and other experiences resolve in open intelligence.
The analogy of sunlight filling the vast expanse of space is illustrative in that it introduces the perspective that data are the natural lucidity of open intelligence. The true nature of open intelligence is naturally radiant, free as a clear single expanse of equalness and evenness.
It's beautiful. Thank you all for reading. So, empowerment 2. And let's see if there are any kind of questions or shares regards to empowerment 2. Christian, yes?
If all data are equal, I don't even know if I need to. I mean, no, I do want to ask. Like, it's probably not that important, but like it just, I mean, because I'm not trying to be argumentative. I just want to understand. But like, if all data are equal, then why is resting as open intelligence superior to wasting time and watching a YouTube video about some horrific event that's may or may not happen? I mean, I think that's probably just my mind trying to persuade me to not go down this path of open intelligence.
Well, ultimately, that's a great question. So thank you for sharing. Because really, ultimately, whether we watch something horrific or we waste our time or we are doing some kind of sublime meditation, ultimately, there is no difference between any of that in terms of open intelligence being naturally present and obvious. Can be obvious while I'm meditating or while I'm just hanging out watching TV, really. So, or when I see horrible things or I see good things, it doesn't mean that it's equal in terms of what I see in the description. It's kind of different, right? But that equalness and evenness becomes more and more a realization of open intelligence being naturally present in our natural state. And then it brings along another realization of, wow, it doesn't mean that we don't need to meditate, or maybe it's much more supportive for our body and mind to have a moment of meditation rather than watching TV that maybe brings up lots of emotions and thoughts. So sometimes we might want to take care of ourselves and take a short moment and meditate very purposefully. But ultimately, open intelligence doesn't care, basically. That's what it really boils down to. It's equally present. And it was good to see you naturally are also recognizing that. Yeah, and it's fine to think about it, really, but not overly. But then, because you're already, I feel like naturally and instinctively understanding it more and more. And that's actually empowerment too. It's the realization, and it's an opening of realization and empowerment too, that it's our natural state. So it means it's always present, whether we have good or bad thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sort of like the more someone, in this case me, kind of chooses to turn towards open intelligence, that things just start to sort themselves out. And I'll just give an example, like this is an extreme. I'm not trying to, like the more one turns to open intelligence, that you could say that, like, let's say there is like a traffic situation or something, and you could say that, giving someone the finger or just letting them go are both kind of, they're both the dynamic energy of open intelligence. But the more one turns to it, there's things just sort themselves out, and there's more of you're just going to kind of make you just naturally turn towards gentleness and kindness. It's just sort of a byproduct of open intelligence. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, that is what naturally opens up. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And that's also empowerment too, realization of this natural beneficial energy that responds in a way that is beneficially intended. Now, this could be made into a concept because, and I'm not saying but ultimately there are no rule books in terms of what the spontaneous response would be. It doesn't always have to look gentle and kind. It could look quite wrathful and direct, or and might be interpreted as negative. So I'm just saying it now, but that becomes more and more, that's down the line with the empowerments, more where that is becomes more and more like a topic in terms of the response. But it's really true that insight is really powerful. It's naturally more and more beneficial, open, and not limited to data.
Okay. May I ask one more thing?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, that it may look wrathful, but it would be selected because it was actually beneficial to all. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. If you have other questions or shares.
Or if I may.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. I can just share from my day to day. I'm teaching a new now the words just ran away. New employee. So I have to at the same time lead or manage everything that's happening, but I have to have room for teaching this new guy all the questions he's asking, and just my capacity with open intelligence as a base is unlimited, even if it's sometimes sounds crazy, but even if everything is happening at once and I feel like stressed way over my head, it's just one short moment and you're back. And also now I actually have 2 jobs and I'm studying, and I don't think that would even be possible if not for this support and this training. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, for sharing. That's great to hear. Wow. That's great.
Maybe in the meantime, Kati,
yeah.
I'll just share a bit about the two shares and questions that we've had. I remember when I reviewed Empowerment 2 for the first time, I didn't know really what to do with it. It didn't have anything to do. That was really hard for me. Like, you know, in Empowerment 1, we look at all our life and all the stuff and how that was, and it's like and in Empowerment 2, it's basically just saying, you know, everything's okay, just relax. And I thought, well, yeah, great, but what do I do with that? And but over the course of time, it's really become a key empowerment, because very gradually, like one short moment at a time, it kind of washed away my, you know, the underlying belief that short moments is something that I need to do in order to get somewhere, or to create, to carve out a more beneficial me. And there are all these analogies of in many things, in both spirituality, but I guess also in psychology or in philosophies, that we have this beautiful like inner nature, but we need to get rid of all the other stuff in order to reveal that true nature. And with short moments, it's just so immediate to recognize that it's truly already present, and that's all. That it's not even something I needed to do. I can recognize that, and from that instinctive recognition, these inner qualities that I had been looking for started to dawn. Like, instead of being reactive in taking a short moment, there is this moment of relaxing and being then able to respond with that, from that space, from that actual recognition. And so the benefit isn't even something we need to think about. Like, you know, well, sometimes we can ask ourselves what will be of most benefit to everybody in the situation, but increasingly we find that this beneficial nature of ours spontaneously knows how to be and how to act. So the short moments is a moment of alignment with that beneficial nature that has all these qualities already within it. And over time, trust in that just grows. So that and that's also what then the following empowerments will be a lot about, the situations where it feels hard to trust that even this could be a shining reflection of the crystal ball of open intelligence. Like, even this even this like super angry thought about somebody, you know, or the annoying impulse to act in a way that I know isn't good, but I still want to do it. Even this impulse is arising from this perfect nature. And if it's seen for what it is, these impulses, they lose their power to direct our actions. And we might still go with them, right? So we might still watch TV, or do the thing that we maybe have deemed unspiritual or unenlightened. But the power in it then is to recognize, even here, it's open intelligence watching TV. All right, now we're watching TV. I could also read a holy book. It's the same open intelligence, and there is so much relief in that, because we're not using our practice to become a better person even though we do become a better person with the practice. But it's all coming from that basic goodness rather than trying to create or cultivate it. And then, Kati, is it empowerment too, where we also talk a bit about the extremes? I think it is empowerment too, is it right? Yeah.
I think so.
So the one caveat to this is, if we think about all this and make it into another belief, that replaces our old beliefs, then we're just yet into another belief system, which doesn't really activate that beneficial power. So it's not about saying, everything is equal and even, so it doesn't matter what I do in the world. Even though that is ultimately true for open intelligence, nothing will happen to open intelligence. But to really activate our full potential, the essence of this statement needs to be our direct experience. And then it is true also on a factual basis, so to speak. We make it our lived direct experience. Yeah. So the understanding is, of course, helpful, and it's part of the process, and especially for a mind like mine, it's been super important. Also as a part to really gain trust that I can just rely on short moments instead of all the other things that I thought I had to do. But it's only the beginning, and increasingly the actual experience is what enlivens those statements as a direct truth. And the analogies are so good for that, like all the analogies that we've read, where, like, I don't know if the dream one was, did we read the dream one as well? There were so many. Okay, there was the dream one. So if you imagine, in a dream, whether you're watching TV or reading a holy book, you're still dreaming. It doesn't matter. Doesn't change the nature of the dream. But the more we have that as our lived experience in the direct instinctive recognition, it does then also enliven those qualities that we're looking for. There is more, like one of the wisdom powers is the power of clear discernment. So we are becoming more discerning of how to act and how to be in the world that is spontaneously of benefit to all. Not in a discerning way as in needing to filter and sort out all the data, but just spontaneously knowing.
Yeah, I love an empowerment to also the metaphor of the data seeds. When we plant the data seeds, an unending field of data naming grows, and then that ceaseless field of open intelligence when we plant the open intelligence seeds in a really simple way that is helpful to choose a short moment. And then it says also here, short moments of uncontrived open intelligence launch continuous unending open intelligence. It's just remembering the short moments whenever we remember, basically, and that alone is already enough. Sometimes we might think, am I doing it right, or am I doing it enough? It's always enough, and just showing up here and showing up to either doing the 12 empowerments or reading the books, listening to the talks, confirming open intelligence is like planting that ceaseless field of open intelligence, basically the unending field of open intelligence. And initially, open intelligence may be momentary and occasional, like we just shared, and And then it will just naturally and effortlessly become obvious at all times. I don't even know how and when it happens, and it's not something like finite, but it just becomes more and more obvious naturally, and until there's just the obviousness of open intelligence without needing to think about it. So, but by the power of a short moment, open intelligence grows increasingly obvious. So we can gain confidence in open intelligence just by that power of taking short moments and being immersed in these kinds of settings where that short moment is confirmed and where it's also encouraged and where we speak about it. So that's why those meetings help. And open intelligence has always been present. So that's empowerment too, also seeing that open intelligence is always present. It's like can never be not present. And we just didn't notice it. So that simplicity is really amazing. We just didn't notice it. We just looked at the data naming, and then the data naming becomes just part of the, is already part of the beneficial energy. Open intelligence. Yeah, and then short moments of uncontrived open intelligence are the means to inexhaustibly expand open intelligence within all data. And short moments, and that's almost going into empowerment 3, short moments has different looks, and then empowerment 3 will directly speak about how do I rely on open intelligence. And it's more intensively about short moments and about the 4 mainstays, how they evoke open intelligence. Like when we read the texts together or hear the metaphors, it naturally just evokes open intelligence in our own experience, even we don't have to think about it. So these that'll be like empowerment 2 going through to empowerment 3. Everything has always a natural flow. So that's why I love it. So it's very effortless. And but empowerment 2 is really deep, and it deepens forevermore, that kind of empowerment that has such a realization of natural presence and spontaneity of beneficial qualities. When I also that sun image that we saw with the many suns and different sun rays, so that expression I love too, because each person, each of us has different expressions of open intelligence's beneficial energy, talents, ways of doing things, thinking, speaking, but everything is the beneficial energy of open intelligence. So everything is the sun in different forms and shape. That was I'm just going to show it one time because it's a nice one. Here, these different ways, the uniqueness of each sun rays, but the uniqueness of our own display. Suddenly all our data become very unique and powerful. Yeah, so let's see, any other spontaneous shares or maybe also questions? And then the metaphors, and please let me know if you have in between, but I'll just go to the metaphors a moment. Because I guess we have the dream. I'll share about the dream and image, and then the crystal ball is also a powerful one. We see the crystal ball, we see all the reflections within it. Whatever we are reflecting, it's equal in that it's clear and doesn't affect the crystal ball. What else do we have here? The sunshine in space. It's like all pervasive. Sun is shining today here in The light is all pervasive. The warmth of the sun is all pervasive. Christian, yes?
So, I'm thinking that it's important to open up to the idea. I'll just call it an idea. It's important to open up to the idea that all data are the dynamic energy of open intelligence for two reasons. One, because it's true, but also, before I get to that part, because it's very easy to demonize some data and elevate other data. But where I'm at right now is that I'm just sort of like, it would make sense that, like, when I hear the data is the dynamic energy of open intelligence, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I think I can, think that's, but my question is, over time, is it confirmed somehow experientially? Like, in other words, right now it's an intellectual thing for me.
Yeah.
And is there a way that it's because it does say in here in Empower, where I think it's Empowerment 1, it says, I don't remember exactly what it says, but like, in other words, right now I'm just kind of taking it on faith and a small intuition that, like, yeah, it makes sense. But is there a way that it kind of reveals itself to be true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can find that it's true every time you actually look. You know, if you look at any thought that you have, say, like, if we just focus, but you could do this with any other sense as well. Is it anywhere but in, what you could call your mind, the nature of mind? Does it have a location? Can you find it anywhere but as an energy within the space of your own mind? And then every time you look, you actually can't. So you can find the inseparability in your direct experience, which is really powerful because you don't need to believe it. You can just check, well, is this thought, is this sensation, is this emotion? Even, this is maybe a bit fancy, but even if I look outside, it looks like I'm looking outside, but is this experience of what I'm perceiving really outside, or is it within the space of my own awareness? And you always find it's only the energy that's moving through this aware space. So open intelligence and data aren't really two things. They are two aspects of our true nature. We call open intelligence, the whole package is open intelligence. But then the qualities that we often describe with open intelligence, like its natural presence, or the indestructible essence that's always there. Every time we look, we find this essence of our being. And the dynamic energy, it's always, all of these are always here in some way, shape, or form. And so every time we look, we can find that this is true. This, of course, also becomes a new, like a true belief, you could say. It's something that we begin to learn, that we don't need to look every single time. At some point, we've looked often enough to be convinced that this is actually the case. But then maybe this goes more into the direction of what you might have had on your mind as well. When the more familiar we are with the soothing mood this recognition brings about, the more the soothing mood becomes pervasive, whether we look or don't look. So, last year my mom passed last year, and I went through the cycle of grief. Fortunately, we had a good relationship, and everything, like, we were as well prepared as one can be for something like that. But still, of course, everything came up for me. So just because I'm a practitioner doesn't mean that I just feel equanimous and, I don't care. Open intelligence is free. And no, there were tears, there was tenderness and everything, but there is no problem with it in a way. I could let this energy just move through me. It poses no threat. Whereas before, I might have tried to avoid it or protect myself, or would have gotten lost in it. And with the practice, this energy isn't anything to worry about. It is still something, that brought up things that I then looked at, in the relationship that maybe I hadn't looked at before. So the psychology can still do its thing, and the energy work can do its thing. And so all of these things of a human animal experience on this planet are still continuing. But instead of making so many things into a problem or into something that I need to work on or solve or do something about, it can just unravel itself. Even if I do something about certain things, because I'd rather be comfortable than uncomfortable in my body, even this readjustment can happen in complete ease. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just, if data are considered to be these independently existing objects that are not the dynamic energy of open intelligence, if they are continued to be viewed that way, is the only harm that comes from that we would likely never give ourselves over to open intelligence, and we would miss out on open intelligence? I mean, that seems like it would be it'd be a high cost to pay, but
Well, I would say that when we show up, you will recognize that not recognizing is also, you have confidence that that is the beneficial energy of open intelligence. So there'll be such confidence in the realization that nothing can take you out, because that really never happens other than in the descriptions. So that's the gaining confidence part. They'll emerge and become more and more. We just need to show up, really. That's it. To such meetings and to the 12 empowerments like you're doing. So, and yes, if someone would turn away and not want to know open intelligence, basically, then there's a continuous focus on data. But if one wants open intelligence, it'll become obvious, and any non-recognition is an equal display. There's confidence in open intelligence. That's my experience. So it will come about, that confidence, naturally. And nothing can take it away.
Mhm.
then you know everything is the beneficial energy, just without thinking about it. So that's what comes about just with gaining confidence in open intelligence. Mhm. Yes, okay. Well, I enjoy empowerment too. It's a very powerful one. Okay, so maybe we'll pause then here for today.
That's good.
Good. So
Nice to see you all.
see you next week for Empowerment 3.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everyone. Mhm.
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Great to be with you all. Have a good rest of your day.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day.